Welcome to the Micheaux Mission, 2 men, 1 podcast, every black film ever made. My name is Vincent Williams, and I'm joined as always by my partner.
Hey, what's up? Holla at your boy. This is Len, a.k.a. the Back Triple.
And in these waning days of August, and dare I say summer,
That's true.
perhaps we are returning to Mother May I. Perhaps. With the film chosen by Lynn Webb, The Mothers.
The Mothers.
About a band of female pirates who go undercover at a prison camp on a coffee plantation to rescue their leader's sister. Directed and written by Cirio Santiago.
Yes, the great Cirio Santiago.
The great Cirio Santiago. No, that's not right. It was written by Cyril St. James. I'm getting my very, very filmic names mixed up. Because both of them sound like names like film people would have.
Okay, but there is the great Cirio Santiago.
Absolutely.
Who directed this.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Stars Jeannie Bell, Roseanne Caton, Trina Parks, and Miss Jayne Kennedy. I know we're going to get into it. Jayne Kennedy so fine. Not for one moment did she look like she was on an island.
No.
On a plantation. Like Jayne Kennedy looked like she just walked out of the dressing room in makeup.
Yes.
Every single scene she was in.
Every single scene. She looked like she just walked out of the dressing room in makeup onto the set. They said action and she said, line please.
But before we get into that, Lynn, how are you today? What's going on? What's going on?
I'm doing great, Vincent. I'm doing great. Shout out to each and every one of you as we are streaming live to YouTube as well as to Facebook from Young Junk here in Philadelphia, Philadelphia's premier video podcast palace.
Yes, sir.
And shout out to each and every one of you out there in the chat as we are streaming live. I see Jeffrey Thomas, Deborah Battle, Robert Monroe Jr., George Kimona, Aaron Fry, LaDame, everyone out there. Hello, hello, hello.
Good evening, one and all.
Yes. We are going to get right to it, ladies and gentlemen, because
we got to get to the mothers.
The mothers is they waiting. So we're going to get right to it. We're not going to waste any time.
All right.
And we're going to kick off the show with notes from all of you. That means we've got missives from the missionaries.
All right.
What's going on, Lynn? We have emails, Vincent.
Ooh, missives from the missionaries.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Missives from the missionaries.
Missives from the missionaries, ladies and gentlemen. Vincent.
Yes, sir.
We've got quite a few emails this week.
Okay. A full mailbag.
A full mailbag. We've got another email from Michael Sykes.
Michael.
Watching the show and reviewing it in real time.
In real time. He's watching and reviewing the show while we're reviewing something else in real time, and then he's sending us a letter. So maybe he's watching us read his letter and reviewing the show where we're about to review. This is some old Black Mirror stuff.
It is.
It's layers to this thing.
The subject line for this email from Michael,
okay,
is pathetic justice, aka poetic justice.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
All right.
Hello there, Len and Vincent. This is Michael Sykes.
Hello, Michael.
He actually puts his full name in the email.
In the email.
This is Michael Sykes.
This is Michael Sykes.
I heard the podcast episode where you all talked about the 1993 film Pathetic Justice, aka Poetic Justice, starring Janet Jackson and Tupac Shakur, directed by John Singleton. Mm-hmm. This movie was bland like the original flavor of Kix cereal. Janet Jackson is not putting anything into the film. It was like Singleton told her act ghetto. Her chemistry with Tupac fell flat. Mm-hmm. I believe Mr. Singleton was still riding high off of his success of his directorial debut, Boys in the Hood. Mm-hmm. And
course.
Michael Jackson's Remember the Time music video. I forgot that he directed that.
I forgot that was before this.
Yeah.
Oh, so he really was. Yeah.
The studio was pressuring him to do another movie, and he didn't know where to go, which clearly showed. The soundtrack was whack. The only thing the soundtrack did was introduce us to a young up-and-coming artist named Usher Raymond with his 1993 song called Call Me a Mac, which went to number 56 on the U.S. R&B and hip-hop hit charts.
All right. Someone has done some research.
Michael is getting his wiki on.
I see.
The movie has great side characters that
Yes.
could do way better than the pathetic justice woman herself, Janet Jackson. Mr. Singleton could have made a whole movie with just the side characters. For example, there could have been a movie just about Jessie and her salon, played by the fun as one actress Tyra Farrell.
Yes.
Yeah, we got time for Tyra Farrell.
Look.
With the rest of the side characters such as Mickey Howard, Regina King, Roger Gouverneur Smith,
Yes, sir.
and even Keith Washington. Keith Washington did a better job than Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
When Roger Gouverneur Smith and Keith Washington were being confrontational, I felt that. And I wanted more because it was believable. I wanted to stay in that salon. The movie could have just taken place for 2 hours in Jesse's salon. Well, very true. Very true.
Yeah, absolutely.
This movie does nothing for me. Singleton put no effort and soul into this movie as he did in Boys in the Hood, Hustle and Flow, The Four Brothers, and it shows. Pac did a great job, though. P.S. Can Mr. Williams
Okay.
do the 6 degrees of Derville Martin to Charlie Wilson from the Gap Band?
I don't know what Charlie Wilson was in. It's so funny because I just saw the OJs in the Fighting Temptations. And I put a pin in that.
This is going to be hard.
Yeah, I don't know what Charlie Wilson
Who knows?
was in.
Does Charlie Wilson even remember he was in this movie?
Did he say what Charlie Wilson was in?
No, he gives the answer.
Okay.
Because this, trust me, this can only be the answer. Like,
Okay.
there's no other path.
Right.
Derville Martin played in Hell Up in Harlem.
Sure.
Co-starring Tony King,
Okay.
who played
Nice.
in Sparkle
Yes,
from
he
1976.
did. Yes, he did. He was satin.
which starred Philip Michael Thomas. Philip Michael Thomas starred in a 1978 movie called Death Drug,
Okay.
in which Philip Michael Thomas was at a club and the house band was the Gap Band.
Okay.
And the lead singer
Is, of course,
was Charlie
Charlie
Wilson. Now, the thing about that, and we don't know, and I didn't
Okay.
look it up because I read these in real time. We don't know if Charlie Wilson was credited.
Sure. But I mean, you know,
So, but that's how
we'll
you
accept it. Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
And I'm
Michael.
giving him credit because he pulled out Tony King.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Good one. Very good one. So thank you, Michael.
There's a documentary about Tony King.
There
because he converted to, I believe, Islam and changed his name.
What did he change it? You know?
I actually I don't remember his name, but the documentary is about his journey, and I really like that guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got another email, Vincent. This is from Ellis Heron.
Hey, what's up, Ellis?
I haven't heard from him
Yeah.
for a minute. Hey, fellas, thank you for your review on Willie Dynamite.
Yes.
From last week.
Yes.
It lived up to everything I was hoping for. Even the top 5 didn't disappoint. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. I knew the pimp council scene was going to be a topic of discussion.
Oh, my goodness.
And I agree that it now pales in comparison to Black Dynamite's scene.
It does.
The funny thing is, I saw Black Dynamite before Willie Dynamite, so it was cool seeing the original blueprint. I'll admit that I was a little disappointed in Willie Dynamite when I first saw it. I was rooting for the guy from the beginning, but like you said, he couldn't get his feet on solid ground with the way everything kept shifting underneath him. However, the movie grew on me after time, and I came to appreciate everything else that worked in the film. I know there's been comparisons between this and the Mac. They both had similar endings, but which one was the better pimp movie overall? And speaking of endings, the internet seems to think the freeze frame at the end of Willie Dynamite is him on his way to Sesame Street.
Oh, that's funny.
No, he doesn't. It's not not long after this.
He's playing with kids.
Yeah,
Like, it is kind of funny that he's playing with kids in the street.
that's right.
Yeah.
P.S. Is it just me, or did that other detective in Willie Dynamite look like a discount version of Ernest Borgnine? He looks like a discount version of Ernest Borgnine. He actually, I don't know the actor's name.
Yeah,
but he actually played a recurring character, Inspector Callahan, from Internal Affairs on Barney Miller.
Nice. Well, he was all throughout the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was all throughout the 70s.
So which one do you think was the better pimp movie, Willie Dynamite or The Mac? And we haven't reviewed
reviewed the Mac, and in full disclosure, I haven't watched the Mac in
a long time.
Probably 15 years. But I've always been of the opinion that the Mac is overrated.
I can believe that.
Like, I think the Mac is over. Like, I think the Mac gets the Mac is a lot of mood. So it's more sizzled than steak.
Okay.
If I remember it correctly.
See, I have a funny feeling I'm going to feel the same way about the Mac that I feel about Superfly. It's like, because
I was just fixing my mouth to say the way you talk about Superfly is what I think of the Mac.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Willie Dynamite.
I will go out on a ledge though and say I'm fairly certain that Willie Dynamite is going to be a more competently made film than the Mac.
Who directed the Mac? If only I had some type of device
where you could look up said information.
Things. If only some type of miraculous device
that existed
that I could just type in the Mac. Michael Cambus.
Does he have any other claim of works?
Let's see. He directed The Education of Sonny Carson, which is a film that I enjoy.
Okay.
But besides that, no.
Okay. All right.
No. So.
We have one more email, Vincent.
All right.
And this is from Daria Benson.
Hey, Daria.
Greetings. You are the best.
Oh, well, thank you.
When you floated the idea of a documentary month, I thought September was a natural as a back to school month. I love the creative name, Doc to School. For those who don't know or are not subscribers to our regular newsletter, because they got it first, such as Daria, September will be devoted to documentaries.
That's right.
This year and every year ongoing as we go Doc to School for September. And we will hit you with our lineup of documentaries at the end of the show.
Absolutely.
She goes on to talk about a bit of our lineup, so I'm not going to spoil that. Thank you for your years of entertainment and information. Even if I have no interest in a movie like Willie Dynamite,
okay,
there was always something interesting in each show.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Be well, Daria Benson. We haven't heard from Daria in a minute, so it's nice to hear from her. Thank you, Daria.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I think we talked about it before we were talking, but I always think about in talking about the tension in the pimp imagery in something like Black Dynamite, where it's a throwaway line in the movie with Crenshaw Pete and his hot ass hangers, and then it turns into a thing like a bit in the cartoon.
Yeah.
Where he's like, he's got like, hanger motifs.
You're right.
But it's like,
yeah, it's a little cringy.
Let's go back to Chocolate Giddy Up. I don't want to talk about Crenshaw Pete anymore.
Very true. We do have one more email. This is from Ro.
Hey, Ro.
Greetings, gentlemen. I am a new subscriber to the podcast and YouTube page. Thank you.
Welcome.
Born and raised in Philly.
All right.
But my mom, dad, and sisters are all from Baltimore.
Hey.
I grew up spending every holiday visiting my aunts and uncle in Edmondson Village in
All
B-More.
right. Yeah. Oh,
What's so special about Edmondson Village?
It's just an area.
Just an
it's
area.
Just an area. My godfather lives in Edmondson Village right now.
All right.
Yeah,
So
over the village.
after hearing some B-More references
Yes, sir.
and the word John,
Yeah.
I knew this was a podcast for me.
That's right. That's right.
One topic I find very interesting is this a black movie topic?
Yes.
Recently, I was watching The Blues Brothers for the millionth time.
Yeah.
But for the first time wondering, is this a black movie? I'm watching James Brown, Cab Calloway, Aretha Franklin, Shaka Khan, Ray Charles, and John Lee Hooker with a soundtrack featuring Sam and Dave and Fats Domino. So I ask, is The Blues Brother a black movie? Your fan, Ro Love.
Thank you, Ro. Well, that is something that has come up a lot. Ro,
Yeah, it has.
About the blues. I mean, even if you approach it from the unkind perspective that it's cultural appropriation movie, like the whole Blues Brothers bit.
Yeah.
But it has definitely come up, and I don't know if I have an answer. I don't know if you do.
I don't know, because there's a part of me that
Because it could not exist without blackness.
it can't exist without blackness.
Yeah.
But and as much as the movie is about ostensibly black music, it is also about the appropriation of black music.
Right.
You know, there's a part of me that think that maybe it is a black film. I think I land on that, especially considering that we have on this podcast, we've reviewed films like Soul Man, or Black Like Me, or whatever the name of that movie was. Yeah. So that kind of like explore that space a little bit, and I think that this is one that I think you could make that argument.
Well, that, and just to add to that, I know we have discussed films that have this place in the culture for good or ill, that I think it's important to have black voices discuss them.
Okay.
Like, frankly, I think we're overdue to talk about Gone with the Wind.
Oh, really?
Which is very much a white film.
Yes.
But it did so much to further that sort of mythology of the lost cause. When we talk about images of blackness in film, in my mind, that falls right under another film that we're overdue to discuss, which is the original Birth of a Nation, where these are films that aren't necessarily black films. And in the case of Birth of a Nation, there actually aren't any black people in it.
Yeah.
But so much of it is about race, informed by race,
Yes.
influenced race.
Yeah.
That I feel like our voices should be in the course of criticism about it. Because I don't think there are enough, certainly black people have talked about them, but I don't think there have been enough black people talking about it.
I could ride with you on both films, but I think, like, Birth of a Nation, I think you're right. It's not a black film, but it is a black film.
Right.
Right. So I can ride with you on talking about that. Gone with the Wind, I think that the main reason our voices need to be heard on that film is because of the cultural relevancy of that film. Not so much the portrayal of us in there because there are plenty of other films at that time where that portrayal is just as prevalent. But because, Hattie McDaniels did win the Oscar for that. So that does... allows you to talk about that film and then to, by product of that, discuss our depiction in all the other films of that era that have just as similar.
Sure, but again, I think what separates it from just the portrayal, which you're right, like you could throw a rock at a black actress in media during that time and hit something as egregious as Butterfly McQueen and Hattie McDaniels, is again, like it really did single-handedly change the country's perception, or part of the country's perception, of the Civil War in the Confederacy. And there were so many deliberate changes to the story from the novel. Like in the novel, Rhett Butler, I think there's like a whole subplot about him being a Klansman in the novel that they leave out in the movie because they are intentionally kind of massaging and putting forth this mythology that is going to become, what we kind of grapple with right now.
Yeah, but don't you
the Confederacy and the war.
But don't you think that the country
aggression
around that time was already in the midst of reclaiming their own hypocrisy as far as the Civil War, because at that point, the Union Jack, the Confederate flag is still being heralded.
Well,
big time.
Actually, no, because remember, a lot of those flags don't come about until the 50s.
I thought there was still like some of them that were on display down in the South.
But it doesn't turn into the hoo-ha until the Civil Rights Movement. Like that's when it turns into a thing.
Yeah, but the statues are already being...
A lot of them aren't. That's what
I'm saying. So
you're
saying the statues don't even come until the 50s?
I'm saying a lot of them. Yes, I'm saying the across the board bullshit now.
Right.
A lot of it started. Dare I say, most of it started during the Civil Rights Movement. But stuff like Gone with the Wind, which is 1930 whatever. 39. And, Birth of a Nation before that is what kind of made it nationwide.
Well, certainly Birth of a Nation.
Right, like I'm
Birth of a Nation is like noted.
Right.
As like rebirthing.
Right, but a lot of it was regional. But then you have Gone with the Wind. Now you got white people in Vermont going, this, that, and the other. And all of this, that, and the other includes, this happy Negro, Butterfly McQueen and Hattie McDaniels and everything that goes in that. Yeah. And like this exchange, I think would be wonderful for an hour. Okay. Where like instead of Off the Dome, we actually, do Micheaux mission stuff and look up some stuff and this, that, and the other. But sort of what is and is not a black movie that's part of the first conversation we ever had.
It is. And I think that's the conversation, now 300 plus episodes in, worth revisiting.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Ro. Is that still Ro?
That was Ro.
Thank you, Ro.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right. We're keeping this train moving.
All right.
It is now time for the top 5.
Who's your top 5? My top 5 is... My top 5 is... My top 5 is... My top 5 is... My top 5 is...
Top 5, ladies and gentlemen, where I have a list and I give it to Vincent and he gives me his commentary on it. And Vincent.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I've got a list for you.
All right.
I have got a list for you, my friend.
All right.
We actually kind of tipped things a little bit at the beginning of the episode when we mentioned that we're going to be reviewing The Mothers, which is directed by the great Cirio Santiago.
Okay. The Great.
The great
All right.
Cirio
Somebody really like
Hermosa Santiago,
Ebony and Ice.
who was a prolific Filipino film producer, director, and writer.
Yes.
And prolific does not do the man justice. He directed everything, and he directed it fast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was about getting it in, getting it done.
Yo, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was Filipino, and he did a lot of his films in the Philippines.
In the Philippines. That's right.
Right there in the Philippines. Now, in the 80s and into the 90s, his stock and trade, because of what was happening in the country and in Hollywood, he's never, was always looking for a trend. Mm-hmm. The 80s and the 90s, his stock and trade were Vietnam films.
Yeah.
Movies about the Vietnam War, about somebody just dealing with some PTSD. And
Right.
Got to go rescue somebody.
Right.
It was all about, big hardcore Vietnam movies, man. That's what the man did.
Okay.
And at that time in the 80s and in the 80s and 90s, movies like One Man Army and
A-Son.
Beyond the Call of Duty, Raiders of the Sun. This man, and he also did Eye of the Eagle 2, Inside the Enemy. Like, the man was just, he went hardcore.
Were these direct-to-video films or?
Most of them were direct to video.
Sure.
Direct to video. But,
Like-
in some places, I'm sure they've played in some movie houses.
These feel like Cinemax films at 3 a.m.
Right.
I came in.
But that was in the 80s and 90s.
Sure.
But in the 70s,
Yes,
ladies and
sir.
gentlemen. Oh, in the 70s.
Yes, sir.
The great Cirio Santiago, his stock in trade was the ladies.
Hey.
And not just any ladies.
No.
These were badass ladies.
Oh, yes. Yeah, look. We about to talk about the mothers.
We're about to talk about the mothers. But before we talk about the mothers, we are going to talk about the top 5 chicks of Cirio Santiago.
All right. I like this already.
These are the top 5 black chick movies that Cirio Santiago got down with. Vincent, are you ready? my
Oh,
friend?
I am ready for this.
This one was made for you.
Yes, sir. Who is number 5?
Well, we are going to go in chronological order
All right.
to show how this man got down and see how he got down.
Who is first?
Number 1
Yes.
from 1974, TNT Jackson.
Yes.
You got a long way to go to catch up with me because, baby, I was born beautiful. That is TNT Jackson, starring who, Vincent?
Oh, Lord, it just left my head.
Jeannie Bell. That's right. She is relentless.
That's right. That
Hilariously
is Jeannie
hostile as the titular character, tangling with an evil gang, looking for revenge, and busting out the 5-finger death punch.
Bell. Man, I love Jeannie Bell so much. I love Jeannie Bell so much.
Jeannie Bell, who is the star
Yes, she
of
is.
The Mothers.
Yes, she
but
is.
this is the movie in 1974 that put this former Playboy playmate
And by former,
on the map.
give her props. I believe Jeannie Bell was the first black playmate.
She was the first black playmate.
Right,
yes.
centerfold.
Centerfold.
Yeah, she was the first black playmate.
Yeah, and she was the first black playmate to appear on a Playboy cover, not
That's
solo.
right.
She
Right.
was in the group, but she was
Right,
on a
that's right.
on a cover
That's
of Playboy.
right, Jeannie Bell.
Yes. She
That's
stars
a good start.
She stars in TNT Jackson. Now, as much as she is the star of this, you know who actually is the real star of that movie?
Is Gloria Hendry in there?
No.
Who's in it?
Well, that's not who I'm referring to.
Who?
The real star is Micheaux Mission favorite the one and only silky smooth Stan Shaw.
Nice.
Who, according to the review, is an underrated character actor with real karate and judo chops who pops up everywhere from Rocky to Roots to the Monster Squad.
Yeah.
And he really gets to shine in TNT Jackson as both the villain and romantic lead.
Yeah.
And
it's a deep cut, too. TNT Jackson is a deep cut.
And unlike a lot of films of this time where there's a badass black woman and she's out for revenge, the revenge is usually, as you'll see in The Mothers, it's because they're out looking for their sister.
Right.
In TNT Jackson, she is looking for her brother.
Right. Pretty sure that's what happens in Coffee too, right? Doesn't her brother OD?
Was it the brother?
Pretty sure her brother. Wait.
I think it was this. I thought it was the sister.
Or am I thinking Foxy Brown? One of them, her brother ODs.
Yeah, maybe one of them.
Right,
to switch them up.
Right, but you're right.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. That's
All right.
That's number 1.
Look.
All right. Of the films of Serial Santiago.
Right, and I'm glad you're doing them in chronological order, because then I'd be sitting here thinking of 4 people better than Jeannie Bell.
From 1976 at number 2.
Okay.
We have Ebony, Ivory, and Jade.
That's right.
And
who is Ebony?
Wow. I didn't think you were going to ask me for the actors. I don't know why I didn't think you were going to ask me.
I mean, I'm interested in Ivory and Jade, but
it certainly makes sense.
Is Ebony, is that Jeannie Bell too?
No. Jeannie Bell is not in Ebony, Ivory, and Jade. I will tell you.
Is Roseanne Caton in that?
You would think, but no, it's not Roseanne Caton. I will tell you. And you're right. It is Roseanne Caton.
Yeah, okay.
And Colleen Camp and Christy Mayuga in there. Roseanne Caton, who I have a lot to talk about when we review the movie.
I also love her.
I'm sure.
I don't know if she was the second black playmate, but she was in the first 3 or 4.
She? Yes. Ebony, Ivory, and Jade by the one and only Cyrano Santiago, made in Manila, Philippines, features 5 female athletes are kidnapped during an international track meet in Hong Kong.
Sure.
Then fight their way to freedom.
As one does.
After being recaptured several times.
Yes. I mean, look. Sure.
There's a running theme of people being captured.
Right, and then recaptured.
Right.
There's a lot of women being grabbed from the back, so they shake.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yes. You got to shake them.
Oh, yeah.
Ebony, Ivory, and Jade stars Roseanne Caton as track star Pam Rogers, the Ebony of the title.
Yes.
Colleen Camp co-stars as Ginger Ivory Douglas.
Right, she's an Ivory.
Her privileged track and field white rival.
Sure.
And meanwhile, Christy Mayuga stars as Jackie.
She's probably Jade.
A.K.A. Jade.
A little racist, but it's the 70s.
Oh,
Peter
man.
Alford and Sammy Davis Jr. is sitting somewhere making salt and pepper, shaking their heads.
Yes.
Shaking their heads.
Yes. So that's Ebony, Ivory, and Jade, brought to you by Serial Santiago.
Yeah, that's another deep cut.
That's very a deep cut. That was in 1976. Okay. We now move to 1978. And with 1978, with our man Serial Santiago, the wheels start to come off the tracks a little bit.
Watch out now.
Because in 1978, we have vampire hookers.
I'm not familiar with vampire hookers.
A sinister vampire sends out a horde of undead beauties.
As one does.
To bring back victims for his dinner.
Okay, all right.
In typical sexploitation fashion, the whole movie seems to exist to prop up an extended 10-minute orgy scene in the third act.
Yeah, right. You got to bring it home.
3 gorgeous vampire chicks, who aren't even hookers and aren't really gorgeous, seduce and then play tag team as they ravish I'm reading the review. As they ravage one of the hapless sailor dudes while they all wreathe around in nothing but their little pastel-colored panties.
Okay.
It certainly gives a new meaning to the phrase, playing with your food.
Oh, yeah. Anybody we recognize in this?
There is nobody
Nobody.
of note
Yeah.
in Vampire Hookers.
Vampire hookers.
So, but that Serial,
It's number 3.
that was number 3.
It's probably downhill from here, isn't it?
Well, you be the judge, Vincent.
All right.
Because in 1988,
Oh, Lord.
we go to the year of 2021 AD.
Uh-oh. It's set in the far future.
Yes.
2020. What is it? You said it was 2021?
2021.
In the far future of 2021 AD, mankind has crawled from the debris of a nuclear holocaust.
Interesting you say that.
Uh-huh. Oh, come on. Stop. I know this.
Women have been enslaved by a brutal army of men who survived the nuclear holocaust.
Come on, man. It's set in the far future of 2021 AD.
Their only hope for freedom is in the hands of a nomadic band of fierce she-warriors called the Sisterhood.
The Sister, is that the name of the movie?
That is the name of the movie.
name of the movie. I am intrigued by this film.
From somewhere between Road Warrior and The Beastmaster comes this post-apocalyptic film.
Sure.
In a world ravaged by nuclear war, men have taken over and enslaved most of the women.
Yeah.
The Sisterhood is a group of scantily clad women of whom each has a special power, and that's about as far as the plot makes
Hey,
sense.
man, nothing says empowerment like your butt cheeks hanging out.
Lynn Holly Johnson is stunning in this movie.
Is she stunning?
She's stunning.
Stunning? So I'd watch it and say, wow, I don't know who that is. But she's stunning.
She's stunning in this movie, and although we don't get a peek at her breasts,
Okay.
it's good to know that somewhere in our post-apocalyptic future, beautiful women will still be able to get a pair of tight jeans.
That's right.
And she looks amazing in them.
Okay. All right.
That is The Sisterhood.
The Sisterhood.
From 1988.
I have probably seen The Sisterhood.
Really?
Oh, my God.
You've got a thing for women
And-
in Jordache jeans?
Well, yes. But also, every single solitary schlocky canon, straight to video, straight to cable, post Mad Max movie, I watched all of them. I love those movies.
All right.
All right, so
Let's see if you love movie number 5.
all right, new movie number 5. Where we at?
I'm going to read the synopsis.
All right.
King Lim is the oppressive ruler of a country on the verge of revolution.
Okay.
The CIA arranges a fake assassination to get him safely out of the country, but his daughter is captured in the ensuing melee and sent to The Rock, an island penitentiary known for its harshness. Agent Amanda commits a local crime in order to infiltrate the prison and rescue Princess Marga. Within, she predictably encounters official corruption, shifting allegiances, and a sleazy warden that make her task more challenging. The title implies a double meaning. Even at a very brisk 72 minutes, this is a total slog. I mean, a total slog. And yet, it may be right up your alley, Vince.
What is the name of this film?
Because in 1994,
Yeah.
Serial Hermosa Santiago gave the world Caged Heat 2,
Caged Heat 2.
Stripped of Freedom.
Yeah, I'm almost positive I saw this. I'm almost positive because Caged Heat was
15 years before this.
speaking of Playmates, wasn't one of the Playmates in Caged Heat?
I believe so.
What was the famous Playmate that they were trying to make an actress at that? What was her name?
Well, Cage Heat stars Juanita Brown,
No, that's not her.
Erica Gavin,
Yeah, I'm not thinking about
and
her.
Barbara Steele.
What am I thinking about? Yeah, but I know I saw Caged Heat. And if Caged Heat 2 was on cable, I'm sure I saw that. Come on. Oh, I love those movies so. Oh, come on, man. I would come in at 3, 4 in the morning. And you know how when you come in late, especially like when you're young and you're still like amped up. Man, I would come in. And Damon's my brother on tonight. I didn't see Damon. Yeah, because Damon is 5 years younger than me. So like I would come in when I was like 17. And he was 12, but Damon was always a night bird.
Okay.
So a night owl. So he was always up really late. So I would come in at 3, 4 in the morning and be all amped up, and Damon would be up. And we would like raid the kitchen and turn on like cable. Because it was just let's turn on cable.
There you go.
Right, and it was right. You remember like HBO was sort of was like marquee stuff, but Cinemax really did just have, or like Night Flight. Remember Night Flight on the USA Channel would show like these schlocky movies.
Yes.
Oh come on, man! 4 in the morning, like eating Pop-Tarts and just sitting there because like you're too amped up to go to sleep. Or if it was Saturday, like I don't know if this was a rule in my house. The rule was if you can stay out all night, you can go to church. So like I'd get in at like 4 in the morning, and like I always said like my mom would ask, we go to early service, the 8 o'clock service, or the 11 o'clock service, and the 11 o'clock service was a trap.
Yeah,
because black church at 11 when ain't nothing coming. Negroes would just be in there.
That's right.
It's like 4 and people yelling out, take your time pass. And it's like, we've been here for 3 hours.
That's right.
So 8 o'clock service was the one to go to.
That's very true.
So, I'd come in and be amped up, and then, hell, I'd just stay up. I'd just stay up. And then at some point take a shower, put on the suit and sit at the table. Just wait for everybody else to get up. So I watched all of these movies.
Church wasn't a big thing in my house, so that was fine. But my Saturday ritual, especially if my cousin Tony, I rest his soul, was spending like in the summer. He would spend the summer with me. He was 2 years older than me. He talked me into that after midnight. Because remember, the TV used to go off, ladies and gentlemen.
Right,
It used to go off.
Right.
Like it would say the Star Spangled Banner.
That's right.
And you see like the images of the flag.
That's
and
old
stuff like
school.
That. And then the TV would go off and it would just be snow on the TV. If you had the TV on. But my cousin Tony, he told me that if you stay and watch the snow after on Channel 12, which was the PBS station here in Philadelphia, after about maybe 15, 20 minutes, the TV will come back on and it would show naked women in movies.
Right.
So we would stay up looking at snow. And I swear to God, Vincent, you could not tell us. We'd be watching for like an hour and be like, I think I see it coming.
I think you see right. Yeah. Now, did you watch Benny Hill for that?
Oh, but when Benny Hill hit?
Right. You catch your titty on Benny Hill.
Oh, my God.
Right.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
I think that was actually the phrase, too. I caught a titty. Yeah.
Jesus. But the only thing about Benny Hill is like Benny Hill tricked me because Benny Hill was my introduction to British humor.
Yeah.
So watching Benny Hill and seeing like all these like titties running around, then I was like all of a sudden like Mighty Python was on and Are You Being Served?
Right.
So I was like, I gotta watch all the
British.
We gotta watch.
At some point, somebody's gonna take their shirt off.
Yeah.
And then they didn't.
Yeah. Not only did they didn't on Mighty Python, all the guys were playing the women. I was like, this is what the hell is this?
This is not what I was told. This is not. Yeah.
Oh God. All right, well, those are the
It's a
films
solid list. That's a solid
the
list.
great Serial
Yes.
Santiago.
I love it.
All right. It is
All
now
right.
time. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
It's time for 6 Degrees of D'Urville Martin.
All right.
6 Degrees of D'Urville Martin, ladies and gentlemen, where I give Vincent 2 actors and he has 6 movies or less to connect them to the great D'Urville Martin.
Yes, sir.
One man's sexploitation theater.
Yes, he is.
Sexy man. Vincent, are you ready?
I am ready.
You are?
Is it thematic? Is it
is
connected
thematic.
to the mothers?
Oh, in a way.
In a
yes.
way?
The Mothers stars Jayne Kennedy.
Yes.
Okay. So in 6 films or less, connect D'Urville Martin to
Okay.
Jane Fonda.
Oh, Jane Fonda. Okay. All right. How do I want to get to Jane Fonda? You can have some fun getting to Jane Fonda, actually. So,
Fun plays in the title of one of her movies, one of her more famous movies.
so the really quick way, because I guess I'll do it fast.
Have fun.
Well, you know, I was going to go to 9
How
to
long are we going to be on the Mothers?
All right. So I would go to On Golden Pond, which is just D'Urville Martin to Henry Fonda to Jane Kennedy.
How do you get from D'Urville Martin to Henry Fonda?
I'm sorry, D'Urville Martin to Audrey Hepburn.
How do you get to D'Urville Martin to Audrey Hepburn?
Wait, Spencer Tracy and what's Audrey Hepburn in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Katharine Hepburn.
Thank you.
Sorry. Yeah, Katharine Hepburn. But instead I will say that D'Urville Martin is in we just saw him too. Okay, because we just saw him in this. So D'Urville Martin is in Hell Up in Harlem with Fred Williamson.
I thought you were going to say Tony King.
Who's in 3 the Hard Way with Jim Brown, who's in I just forgot it. We just reviewed it like a month ago. The cowboy movie.
Oh, with Raquel Welch, 100 Rifles.
100 Rifles with Burt Reynolds, who is in The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas with Dolly Parton, who is in 9 to 5 with Jane Kennedy.
Very good.
There you go.
Very good.
A film that I love.
A film that I actually saw again, maybe, I think over the pandemic.
And 100% holds up.
It does.
Like, it is a rock. Like, the bones of 9 to 5 are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Mm-hmm. Very good movie. Very good, Vincent.
All right.
All right.
So I got another Jane or do I got a Kennedy?
Well, The Mothers stars Jean or Jeannie.
Jeannie Bell.
Depending on how you
Jeannie Bell.
pronounce it. Bell. Mm-hmm. So in 6 movies or less, connect D'Urville Martin to
Okay.
Jeanne Tripplehorn.
Oh my God. Jeanne Tripplehorn is one of those names that I know.
Do you need to see her face?
Yeah, you got her up.
There's her face. I'm showing Vincent her face.
What was she in? She is always in something where I see her and I go, oh, she's not bad.
Wow, the movie that I most think about from her, I did not realize was her first film.
And what is that?
It would be too, but this would definitely like get you started.
Well, give me her last film then.
Her most recent
film.
film is from 2020, Anna, A-N-A.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. Yeah, I don't know what I can't. I'm looking right at her, and I'm trying to figure out what she was in.
I'm looking at her filmography. I'm trying to let me come up with a movie that maybe is not totally a giveaway for you, because one would be.
She's always like a mom,
and these are
or like a wife.
Oh wow, Vincent, she's in a movie that you name check all the damn time. I'm not going to tell you this movie, but you name check this movie all the damn time. All the damn time.
Is she in one of the Will Ferrell movies?
No.
Oh.
She was in
right, because that's not her in Step Brothers. That's what's her name?
Not her. She was in
Ted whatchamacallit's Ted Danson's wife.
Oh, Ann Archer. She's in Time Code from 2000.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
You don't know that one. She's in Mickey Blue Eyes.
Yeah, no.
You remember Mickey Blue Eyes?
Doesn't do anything for me.
Okay. She was in. You may have seen this. Very Bad Things.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
You didn't see Very. Oh boy, you're missing a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, she does good work. Like I said, I know I'm looking right at her.
You're missing a very good movie there.
Yeah.
She was in Sliding Doors. Another good movie.
Is that Kate Winslet?
No, I think that is
What's his
Gwyneth
name?
Paltrow.
Yeah, it's the same person. And
It's not the same person. That's not fair.
Isn't it
Kate
though?
Winslet is a very.
they're
both good.
right,
actors.
very right, exactly.
But Kate Winslet is like a 2-time Academy Award winner.
And Gwyneth Paltrow hasn't won anything.
I think she.
Was
Yeah,
it?
but she won a dubious one.
They're clearly the same person. But who's the male lead in that?
In Sliding Doors.
Yeah, it's because it's like one of them prestige white guys.
John Lynch.
Oh, that was someone prestige.
Yeah, that movie is basically about Gwyneth's character. Do you know the premise of Sliding Doors?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I saw Sliding Doors.
It's a good movie. All right.
Wait, you said Gwyneth Paltrow's in it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, the easy thing is just
Now you can
just the Marvel movie. Yeah. So you know, Derville Martin is
You take me out when you go.
I mean, well, you know, once you connect him to the Marvel sludge, it's just going through the motions. Right. So what is that? Derville Martin is in 5 on the Black Hand Side with Dick Anthony Williams, who's in Mo Better Blues with Samuel Jackson.
Yes.
Who's in Iron Man. Was just start at the beginning.
Yes.
With Gwyneth Paltrow.
Very good.
Who's in Sliding Doors. So what is she in that I know she's in? What am I name checking that she's in?
Well, I'm not even going to go to that one yet.
Okay.
But her very first film was Basic Instinct.
She's in is she
Because
the wife?
she's the she's not like a wife. She's like the other woman.
Right.
in
Okay.
that.
All right.
And you find out that she more or less is kind of like it's her.
Yeah.
She was in that, and she's the wife. Oops, excuse me. In The Firm
I never saw The Firm.
with Tom Cruise.
I've never seen The Firm.
You've never seen The Firm?
I am not.
Gene Hackman?
I don't really watch the Michael Crichton lawyer things.
Not a Michael Crichton fan?
I like.
Well, because obviously you watch.
I like the science fiction stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No.
None of them.
Wow.
Just not my thing.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So yeah, I've never seen The Firm.
But the movie you name check all the damn time
Is
Waterworld.
and that's actually, I was sitting here
When you
thinking,
say you see
why
her.
am I looking at her in like some rags? I was actually thinking, what am I thinking about this? She's in some rags. Yeah. That sure is her in Waterworld.
Yes, it is.
All right.
But very good. You got there.
I got there.
You got there.
Oh, you should have said Waterworld, then we could have fun with Waterworld.
Well, that would have been giving it away.
Yeah,
You could
okay.
have connected like 9,000 people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And now you're all proud. I should have said that in the beginning.
Yeah. Now I'm happy. I want to watch Waterworld.
Yeah. Well, nobody needs to see Waterworld.
Did you watch The Postman?
I'm pretty sure I did. I don't really remember. That's the one with Lorenz Tate, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. I don't 100% like remember it. But Kevin Costner is very hit or miss with me.
Oh, absolutely. But it's an interesting premise.
What is the premise of that one again?
The premise is it's the post-apocalyptic world of 2000 and something.
Yeah.
And Kevin Costner's character is all ratty, dirtied up, and he sees the corpse of a mailman and takes the mailman's uniform off. And then he's traveling in the mailman uniform from post-apocalyptic settlement to post-apocalyptic settlement, and people remember mailmen. And they're like, oh, I think I have a sister in a settlement, 15 miles away.
So he's now taking
here's a letter. If you see her, can you take it to her? And that's how these settlements start to get connected to one another. And then, you have like some tinfoil monarchs of a settlement who's like, we don't want to be connected. And it turns into a whole thing. And then the mailmen turn into a thing. And Lorenz Tate starts being a mailman too.
I do. I kind of remember like
the concept is much more interesting. It's based on a book.
Yeah, because the concept sounds real dope.
Yeah.
And I think I may have fallen asleep to it.
It's not the best movie.
Yeah.
I actually think Waterworld is better just because Waterworld is actually bonkers.
Right. George Cremona, thank you, in the chat is pointing out that the firm is actually not Michael Crichton, it's John Grisham.
That's who I meant.
Of course.
Because Michael Crichton, I don't know if Michael Crichton, he writes the medical thrillers.
Maybe. Yeah.
John Grisham writes the lawyer.
He does, because I think Michael Crichton wrote Coma. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
I meant John Grisham.
Of course.
But I said Michael Crichton.
You did.
Because medical thrillers, legal thrillers, what are two things that I'm not that interested in?
None? No medical thrillers? You never saw
Michael Crichton? What's the famous one that Michael Crichton wrote?
The famous medical thriller?
Yeah, it's
Isn't it Coma?
What is the name of that movie? It's like a famous movie that I love.
I mean,
I can't think of right now.
I thought it was Coma.
It's not Outbreak. It's like the first version of Outbreak from the 70s, I think.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about.
I'm glad you believe so. Let me see. Michael Crichton is known for science fiction and techno thrillers. He did the Andromeda Strain.
Andromeda Strain.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't do Coma.
I love the Andromeda Strain. Who did Coma? That's not Michael.
Oh, he did. He directed Coma.
Okay.
He wrote and directed, of course, Westworld.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he did Coma.
Right.
I thought he did Coma. All right. Oh, he wrote The Great Train Robbery. I love that movie.
Oh,
Sean Connery and Donald Sutherland.
Okay.
That's a funny movie.
I have no memory of it.
I'm sure you don't. All right. Well,
there you go.
There you go.
Now I want to see Waterworld.
You want to see Waterworld?
Waterworld is bananas.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know if Dennis Hopper is on cocaine in the film, but I don't know if Dennis Hopper is on cocaine in this film because he is crazy in this movie.
I'm pretty sure I never saw the whole thing.
You got to watch Waterworld from beginning to end. Like, it's a bananas movie.
Do I really?
You kind of do.
I really don't.
It's bonkers.
I really don't.
Kevin Costner puts himself on a fish hook and throws himself in the water.
Yeah, I seen that scene.
The giant fish comes and gets him.
I seen that scene. Yeah. So Waterworld or they clone Tyrone? Which should I watch?
Oh, no. Come on. All right. Let's get to the mothers.
Let's get to our review of The Mothers.
But first, some.
We don't even do trailers.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking about when you listen to it.
Oh.
All right. The Mothers, a 1976 women in prison film. When a band of female pirates go undercover at a prison camp on a coffee plantation to rescue their leader's sister. That leader is, of course, Kelly, the captain of the band of pirates, played by Jeannie Bell. Her first mate, Angie, portrayed by Roseanne Caton. When they go to the prison camp, they meet fellow prisoners Marcy, portrayed by Trina Parks, and a prisoner in a different kind of prison, Serena, portrayed by Jayne Kennedy. Written by Cyril St. James and directed by the great Cirio Santiago, this 1976 film was the choice of Lynn Webb. Lynn, what you got to say about The Mothers?
Well, what I have to say is that I selected this film because there were 5 weeks in August, and I knew that we owed the missionaries one bad black movie.
Yes.
Because not only had we chosen in May, our usual month for bad black movies, The Cherokee Kid starring Sinbad, which proved to not be a bad movie.
No. Solid movie.
It also was not a feature film. Mm-hmm. It was a cable movie. So I owed y'all a bad black movie. Vince would have never paid up. But I knew that we owed you a bad black movie. So I chose The Mothers because this just sounded on its surface is this had to be a bad black movie. It stars, with all due respect, Jeannie Bell and Roseanne Caton. Roseanne Caton, who has proven herself to be more than a capable actress.
We going to talk about Roseanne Caton.
My introduction to Roseanne Caton was she had a recurring role in the, I believe in either the first two, but certainly the first season of Saint Elsewhere.
Okay.
Opposite one Denzel Washington.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I fell in love with her from there. And then, of course, she shows up in the 80s and on some sitcoms and stuff like that. But I always knew her as an actress.
Okay.
I had no idea that she had a life before as a Playboy playmate. So when I see a movie starring not one, but two Playboy playmates.
Yes.
And they're both black. I'm like, oh, this has to be a bad black movie.
Absolutely.
So I'm giving you what you need.
Got to give the people.
Give the people what they want.
Yes.
And in fairness, this movie is just bad enough to qualify as a bad black movie.
Sure.
So we don't owe you any more.
Right.
You have been debt paid.
I think we are on the same page right now. Go ahead.
That being said, The Mothers is motherfucking ridiculous.
In a good way.
Yes. Because
thank goodness.
Because I could not believe that I was sitting there. Enjoy might be too strong a word. But I was entertained. But I was entertained by the Mothers. I mean, first of all, the whole idea that these are basically pirates.
Not basically.
They are pirates.
They are
pirates on a schooner that is called the Mothers.
Yes.
Kelly and Angie, Jeannie Bell and Roseanne Caton lead this group of surly Filipino mercenaries or pirates, I guess.
And can I just clarify something? This is not like when we talk about Somali pirates and the pirates. Like they are wearing scarves.
Yes.
Like these are buccaneers.
These are buccaneers. They're wearing scarves.
They've got the swords.
Well, okay.
And the pistols.
Okay, they got daggers. They don't have swords. She's got a dagger.
Isn't she wearing a sword?
She's got a dagger.
Kelly's not wearing a sword. The captain.
If she wears a sword, she never brandishes it.
She never branded, but she has.
I don't remember.
She actually looks like a swashbuckler.
Okay, perhaps.
Okay.
I know that Angie is a woman with a dagger.
Yes.
And she walks, talks, does everything with her dagger.
And like an old-timey pistol. Did you see the one of them had the old-timey pistol? Like an actual pirate?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Well, everything was pillaged.
Yes.
And because the movie starts with them just like pillaging this random like yacht.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Out on the seas, of course, filled with nothing but privileged white people.
Oh, yeah.
So immediately you're all in as they just get taken for whatever they've got. And I don't know what they've got. They're out there at sea. They're just having a party. So like, how much
Booty.
Whatever booty they're going to get.
Whatever booty
you
they're
got
gonna
the
get.
booty that they got. So it's absolutely ridiculous. Then they have to go up against a rival pirate who is led by the most like I've never the most stereotypical Filipino pirate, complete with scarf and I swear he says "arr."
Oh my God.
It makes absolutely no sense. It makes it everybody, even though, but they're pirates, and even though they're brandishing, some of them are brandishing swords and knives. They all, like, to Vince's credit, they all have old guns that they have pillaged from other places. These guns, which have, you know, inexhaustible clips of ammo, because they shoot 30, 40 bullets at a time before the one time in this film you see somebody actually change their clip. No one shoots straight. No one knows how to shoot a gun. There was no like gun training for the mothers. There was just have gun, pull trigger. You know it.
Sure.
We'll make it up in post.
Yeah.
But it's just ridiculous. The plot of this movie is that they're pirates who, for some reason, the government needs them to infiltrate an island where not only has Pirate Kelly's sister been kidnapped to, her 16-year-old sister.
Yes.
Not only has she been kidnapped to, but the government has lost contact with the spy that they have planted on the island.
Yes.
So we need the pirates to go in there, rescue your sister, but also reconnect us with our spy.
Sure.
And then we'll come a running.
Yeah.
The plot is ripped off from basically every blaxploitation movie of the time.
Sure.
But more specifically to my mind, this is basically Enter the Dragon.
I was about to say, you said blaxploitation. I was like, yeah, but
This is Enter
It's
the
Enter
Dragon.
the Dragon.
It's Enter the Dragon straight up. So now they have to go on this island, infiltrate this woman's prison, which hides itself in the guise of a coffee plantation.
Right, because they make the women prisoners harvest
The coffee beans.
That's right.
I'm like, are we serious here?
We are 100% serious.
We are 100% serious. Are we serious with this? And then, not once, not twice, but not 3, 4 times, they try to get away. They keep getting caught, and each time they get caught, somebody else dies. They try and get away. The person they're trying to contact, the spy, she dies. They try to get away again. The sister, who we've never met in the movie until we see her hanging up dead, she dies. Then they try and get away again. Their government liaison, he's got caught. He's dead.
Yeah.
Everyone dies.
Yeah.
In this freaking movie. But the funniest part, every time they get away, Roseanne Caton, we've already said, not a bad actress. Solid actress. But you know what? Roseanne Caton, I got much props for her. Because Roseanne Caton does her own stunts.
Yes, she does.
She does karate chops.
Yes,
she does backflips.
Yes.
She does bending. She does a kick around a post.
She was a very limber young lady.
She's quite
she
quite
was.
athletic.
Yes, she was.
She has a dancer's body.
Oh my God.
And I love
Easy.
dancers.
Let's stay on task. But it was a lot of movement.
There was a lot of movement with Roseanne Caton. Yes, she can private dance for me anytime. I got mad props for her. Jeannie Bell, on the other hand, our lead.
The captain.
The captain.
So by definition, she the toughest one.
She's supposed to be the toughest one, the leader of the pack. But she ain't got no time for no stunts. She ain't got no time for no stunts. And the great Cirio Santiago, writer, producer, and director of this film, he ain't got no time to find no women stunt artists either.
No.
So send in somebody who must be Jim Kelly's brother, dressed up in a curly afro wig.
Because he like 6'3".
Jeannie Bell is 5'2". But when she goes into action, all of a sudden, this 6'3" NBA player steps out on the scene, always with his back to the camera, doing backflips, and always back kicks, and throwing people over their shoulders.
If you're gonna get a stunt man, damn it, let him do some stunts.
And does his best Tarzan imitation, swinging from tree to tree. I'm just waiting for him to just yell. Do the Tarzan yell in this movie.
It was the most shameless stunt double I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's not the most shameless I've ever seen, but
what was more shameless than this? Or egregious?
The most egregious is the man with two heads. When
that's what you're gonna pull.
The brother literally just has like a balloon on the back of his head as he's riding the motorcycle.
Well, that's special effects. I mean a stunt double.
That's what that is.
Right.
Is that what that is? Yeah, but here's the thing. I was entertained the whole time. I was sitting there watching the whole freaking movie. Jeannie Bell, look, she as an actress, she's a good playmate. Roseanne Caton, to me, carries this movie. On her shoulders.
Yeah.
Trina Parks shows up. Trina Parks, who is a name you kind of know,
right?
But I think she maybe is miscast in this movie. I would have loved to see her and the Jeannie Bell role. I would have loved to see them flip roles a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Trina Parks is a taller woman, so more of an imposing figure.
Sure.
I think with Jeannie Bell and Roseanne Caton, they're both of the same kind of like size and stature. So sometimes, like, except for Jeannie Bell was running around on this hot island on a turtleneck for some reason.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you really couldn't tell the two apart. But Roseanne Caton saved the film. And then Jayne Curtin, who in 1976 is on her way to becoming the sex symbol of Black America. In 1976, because of roles like this, because of she's on television, she becomes like a sports broadcaster, and kind of like a media personality on television. Famously married to Leon Isaac Kennedy. She becomes like the sex symbol. And to be fair, like Vince said, she is a gorgeous woman. But she is not, and history has shown, she is not an actress.
I was about to say, you don't hire Jayne Kennedy for her acting.
You don't, but the problem is that her role in this film as more or less the the mistress of the guy, the big bad running the island, who has a complicated history and story because of that. Because she once was on the plantations and kind of like made her way into the house.
Right.
You know, they even call her out on that in this film. She's supposed to like have some gravitas. Like you're supposed to kind of like be rooting for her a little bit into the movie until the movie tells you you're not supposed
actually
to.
supposed to be a tragic figure. No, I get you. I hear you. I hear you.
And she does not pull it off at all.
No, not at all.
So you don't care because everything else is happening in the movie. Now, does the movie have faults? Yes. Is it a little too long? Sure. They could have cut off a good 20 minutes off this movie.
And it's a short movie.
It's a short movie.
It's only an hour and 20 minutes.
I mean, dude, they go through the wood. They do eventually they escape. Because why not? Everybody they came for is dead. Right. So they might as well just leave. So eventually they just said, well, going home.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and
just get out of here. Yeah. But even then, it takes them forever to go. They go back and forth. It does become a bit tedious at the end. But you still find yourself at the end like, okay, the mothers.
Yeah, I 100% agree with everything you just said. This was zippy. This had a lot of energy. This is a kind of film that made me love blaxploitation films. From the opening with them on this ship, and there's like this real slick 70s pre-disco soundtrack. Yeah. The music is jamming, and Jeannie Bell is not a great actress, but you could tell she enjoyed being in this role. Like you could tell she enjoyed being in a lead role, playing someone like this.
This is our follow-up to TNT Jackson.
Roseanne Caton, I agree with everything you said. Like, Roseanne Caton actually had personality.
Yes.
And I have to say, Roseanne Caton had so much personality. And I thought a bit of chemistry with Jeanne Bell. Like, I bought them as kind of friends.
Well, that's because she's a good actress.
Right. You know, kind of captain and first mate. That we're talking about it being too long at an hour and 20 minutes, which I also agree with you. Like, once they escape, it is sort of a drudge. I could have spent, no exaggeration, a half hour before they got on the island.
Oh,
just
yeah.
exploring
their relationship.
This world
of
this racially mixed, black female-led crew of pirates.
Yeah.
Sailing the seas in the 70s.
Yeah.
You know, robbing
from the rich,
right?
More or less.
You know, raiding these luxury ships. They have a rival pirate crew. That they're kind of dealing with. With 4 lines, they could have done something akin to what they did with the Black Manta character in DC Comics and in the film Aquaman, where they could have said part of the reason that we're doing this is because of racism and sexism on land.
Yeah.
But we can be equal on the sea. It's zippy.
Those lines don't exist.
They don't exist in this film at all. It was just me thinking, wow, it would have been neat if they had done that. Once you get to the island, I have to say, as someone, joking, referring to us joking before we started the review, as someone who has watched a lot of exploitation films, including the women's prison exploitation, which is a subgenre in and of itself. This, Jeanne Bell is topless twice. It's not titillating.
No.
It's not that exploitive.
Not really, because both of them are like showers.
Right, like you want to call, women's prison, and you think, but it really is fairly benign from so even that, which I think keeps people from these movies. isn't really there.
Yeah.
Jayne Kennedy, look, I agree someone could have done better in this role than Jayne Kennedy, just because almost anyone would have done better in the role. But God damn, Jayne Kennedy in 1976 is actually a vision. And Jayne Kennedy on that horse, just riding back and forth, yeah, I said, okay, you have proved why you're in the film. The interesting thing, to your point about Jayne Kennedy being this emerging cultural figure, is that in between when the film was made and when it was released on VHS and in subsequent years, she became this star. So like if you look at posters and like the cover art for this film, it's like you think is all Jayne Kennedy all the time because she's the big one. But yeah, I'm like you. I really enjoyed the spirit of it, I think.
Yeah.
Like I really enjoyed the spirit of it, so much so that the many issues as a film, I just didn't mind it, because you know, if you get bored, it's like by the time you get bored, Trina Parks is going to get bitten in the breast by a snake, or, you know, or they're going to be shooting people with cannons, actual cannons. You know, the bad guy at the end gets cut down with a Gatling gun.
Yes.
And Roseanne Caton throws a knife in his back.
Because she gonna get it.
Because she gonna get him one way or the other. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed this.
And also, not for nothing, you know, we're making fun of the film and the work of Cirio Santiago. This 1976, he's still kind of like, you can tell he's still got a bit of a budget he's working with. Yeah. It's not a bad looking movie.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Like, you know, and there are actually some images that are really nice. There's a really cool image that he repeats, where you see the schooner just in silhouette against like the setting sun, and it's like, I'm like, oh,
look, we're joking about the costumes, but they're distinctive costumes.
They are.
Like this looks like there was a wardrobe budget, and there was some thought to the wardrobe. And you know, I'm joking about the red scarves and all, but they really had distinctive looks.
Yeah.
So I liked it. I had never heard of this movie.
No, me neither.
Yeah, I'd never heard of this movie, and somehow this was a hole in my blaxploitation stuff. And I feel like I saw TNT Jackson, and I feel like I saw Ebony, Ivory, and Jade.
I know, I've never seen that.
Yeah, well, you know, like you were talking about Roseanne. I don't remember Roseanne Caton from St. Elsewhere. I remember Roseanne Caton from her work in the 70s, and because my dad subscribed to Playboy. Like, I remember she was in Playboy. And then I saw her on TV, and it was like, wow, I can't believe she's just everywhere. And she was always amazing.
And this adds, side note, recently, like maybe now I guess maybe almost a month ago, but a few weeks ago, I was out in New Hope, and just randomly in this shop, and they had old Playboys there.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, I'm about to redo my basement now, and I got like a spinner rack down there. I was thinking about something cool for like a spinner rack, and I was looking through old Playboys. I looked through some old Playboys, and they had an old Playboy, a downtown Julie Brown on the cover.
Yeah, I remember that.
MTV film?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And it was like $5.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get old Playboys with black women on the cover. Because that is few and far between.
It is. I don't know if you can fill up a whole rack.
Well, I'm going to see if I can't fill up. Yeah. So they only had downtown Julie Brown there, so I got that there. And then just this weekend, I've got, for me, what is the holy grail of these, from 1988, April of 1988.
And that would be Ola Ray.
No, that would be Vanity. In April of 1988
right.
is when I turned 21. because that was the first Playboy that I
Did
bought
you
legally.
You could buy it yourself.
Dude, I was on my way to here in Philadelphia, Fat Jack's, to buy comics with the $20 that I got for my $21 that I got for my birthday. I was gonna go buy comics.
Yeah.
At Fat Jack's, and I passed the bookstore, and in the window
Was Vanity.
April 1980, my 21st birthday. I said, "Oh, happy birthday!"
Yeah.
And I bought it.
Bought Vanity.
And here it was. I just saw it just this weekend. Gripped it up.
There you go.
And now I didn't even know about Roseanne Caton. So the hunt continues.
The hunt continues.
Yeah. I was thinking I was just going to have to go straight to, I don't know, probably like Ola Ray. But But okay. So
yeah, those are Jeannie Bell, Ola Ray, Roseanne Caton. I just remember those three. And then, I'm sure someone after Ola Ray.
Well, the one I remember, and I can't, I'm sitting here trying to remember her name. The woman who was the woman from Shalimar and then had a successful single career.
Oh, that's Jodie Watley.
Jodie Watley. I remember Jodie Watley.
Who looks like downtown Julie Brown.
Yes.
Or downtown Julie Brown, I think, emulated Jodie Watley's look.
Yeah, I'll probably say that. But Jodie Watley, I remember, shows up in Playboy, I think in the 90s or something like that. Anyway.
Yeah.
That aside, done.
That
George Kimono wants to know, Vanessa Williams don't get any love. No, she doesn't, because...
Damn.
No, but here's the reason.
Okay.
Because I believe, first of all, I'm not sure whether or not Vanessa Williams shows up in Playboy.
She was in Penthouse.
It was Penthouse. And those weren't, she didn't want those pictures to be
She
released.
didn't want those pictures. And since we're here, the fascinating thing about her appearance in Penthouse, you can't get those anymore.
Yeah, because I think they've been scrubbed out of circulation,
But
right?
the reason isn't Vanessa Williams.
Oh, why?
That was the issue that Tracy Lords was in.
Oh,
And
yeah.
for those of you that don't know, Tracy Lords infamously lied about her age.
And Tracy Lords was a famous porn
Star
of the 80s.
and B-movie actress. But that's the issue with Tracy Lords, where I believe she's only 16.
Yo.
So that actually falls under child pornography.
Interesting.
So you're not allowed to sell or buy that issue of of Penthouse.
Interesting.
Because of Tracy Lords.
Wow.
So in a lot of ways, that's Vanessa Williams obviously wanted them out of circulate.
Of course.
And, it's like the best thing that could happen.
Yeah. And just so people know, because it is kind of old.
Oh, yeah.
Vanessa Williams did a photo shoot where she was nude in it.
Yeah.
But it was a photo shoot
for a photographer.
But it was for a
before
photographer.
She was,
before she was Vanessa Williams, before she won the
Miss America.
Miss America, and it was never meant for publication.
Right.
But once she won Miss America, all of a sudden it became a thing, and
the dude sold the photos
to the Penthouse,
and she had to relinquish her crown.
Right.
Famously.
Yeah. But not our hearts, because our heart. No, I got love for.
Well, I think the Miss America pageant apologized
eventually
last year.
It's
only been in the past couple of years.
Yeah, for something that happened almost over 30 years ago.
I mean, it's the best thing that happened to her career. That whole hoo-ha was
you mean
the
as
best
far as
thing that could have happened.
Her career?
Right.
It's not the best thing that happened in her career.
Well, I mean, it's the best thing that could have happened. To launch
at
her.
that time.
Because, gun to the head of anyone on earth, name one other Miss America.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah. Including a sister. I remember Suzette Charles, because she's a sister who became Miss America after Vanessa Williams had stepped down.
Right. Yeah, I remember Suzette Charles.
But now I'm done. And I can't believe I pulled Suzette Charles just now.
Yeah. There's another one. I can't think of her. But anyway.
Yeah.
All right, Lee. Well, the question, we're not done.
I was going to say, the question, though.
Yes.
As we're talking about black playmates and
we got distracted.
Late 80s, early 90s pornography.
I see Dylan making a list of Playboys.
Would you recommend the Mothers?
I will recommend The Mothers, but with a caveat.
Okay.
Because this is definitely one of those films that I would recommend for a group of people.
No doubt.
A group of people to sit and kind of just have fun watching. You're not going to sit down for like, oh, I want to sit down for a good movie.
Sure.
And watch them. No, don't do that. No, don't do that. But with a bunch of friends, sitting chilling, maybe, and like you said, there's barely any nudity. So you can kind of like even watch this like, you know, like out back at a cookout or something like that. Just a piece of silly fun, maybe at the barbershop. Yeah, I would recommend it for that. What about you?
I agree. I think this is almost the platonic ideal of a blaxploitation film that, like you said, you watch with a group, some wings, some nachos, some type of beverage, and it's zippy enough that for our purposes, as you said, it drags a bit. But truth be told, the drag is maybe about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because the movie's only an hour and 20 minutes. So, you know, you're in and out. It's lively. The soundtrack is fun. So, yeah, I would recommend it too under those conditions.
There you go. So that's The Mothers, ladies and gentlemen. Before we tell you what we're going to be reviewing next week and give you a preview of our September Doc to School, I invite you to follow the Micheaux Mission, 2 Men, 1 Podcast, every black film ever made, and go to micheauxmission.com where you can check out swag and check out all of the cool designs and gifts and shirts, such as this, that we have available for you by way of our good friends at TeePublic. You can also follow the Micheaux Mission on the social media of your choice, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, the social media formerly known as Twitter, at Micheaux Mission, MICHEAUXMISSION. You can also subscribe to the Micheaux Mission on the podcast chaser of your choice, or more specifically, on YouTube, where many of you are watching us as we stream live now. We have new videos and shorts going up there all the time. Look up at Micheaux Mission. Hit that bell so you will know when we post a new video. And you can be notified of when we are go live every Tuesday night. And tell a friend so we can build up our subscribers. We're this close to 1,000 subscribers. It would be really cool to get that like 1K right there. You know, like we're babies at this. We're babies. We're babies. Helps us grow. Please. Thank you.
Oh, don't do that voice. That's disturbing. That was a little unsettling. Never do that again.
Well, that's, yeah, okay. So I won't do that again, and you won't do that, whatever you were doing earlier, again.
Yeah, but that was before we were taping.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh. Strike that.
Okay.
Anyway.
See, I would have done that on camera.
Where was I? Oh, the Micheaux Mission streams live right here from Young Junk, Philadelphia's premier video podcast palace. Go to videocontentfactory.com and secure your time now in one of the beautiful studios that they have here, and get a hold of Terry or any one of the great producers here at Young Junk so they can produce your podcast. We'll even let, Dylan, show them what to do. Dylan is our producer, okay? We just let you know that. I think he may have a twin brother named Dylan here, so he might help you when you're here. Anyway, the Micheaux Mission, you can also email us your thoughts and opinions at micheauxmission@gmail.com, or you can leave us a voicemail. 215-867-9666. That's 215-867-9666. Your voicemail or your email will be heard here on the show. All right. Okay. Oh, and thank you, Deborah Battle and George Kimono, because the other Miss USA that I was trying to think of from the 90s was Kenya Moore.
Okay. Right. She was Miss USA. She wasn't Miss America.
Yeah. Well, she was Miss USA. I remember her.
Okay.
And then, she had a decent run as an actress.
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
I like Kenya Moore.
Hey, man.
She was pretty.
I ain't mad at Kenya Moore.
All right. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, we kick off our new annual feature, Doc to School, where we will be reviewing documentaries all during the month of September. And we have 4 great ones for you this year to kick things off. And I'm going to go in reverse order. So we will be reviewing A Band Called Death.
Yeah.
From 2012.
Yeah.
It's all about a punk rock band from the 70s.
First punk rock bands.
Yeah. So that promises to be really, really cool. We're going to be reviewing a documentary called I Called Him Morgan.
Yeah.
Which is about the great jazz trumpeter. Is it
Philadelphia's own?
Philadelphia own
Lee Morgan,
right?
Yeah,
and his his life. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And it's a documentary that I don't know if a lot of people know about, but it's really, really tight. So we're going to be doing that. We got a very special debuting on Labor Day here worldwide on CNN is a great documentary, Little Richard, I Am Everything.
Yeah. Really looking forward to that.
Yes, that is directed by new friend of the show, Lisa Cortez.
Yes.
And Lisa Cortez will be joining us.
She will.
To review Little Richard, I Am Everything. This month. In September. That promises to be a really, really fun show.
Absolutely.
We had a great time when she came here to Philadelphia for the Black Star Film Festival. And we sat with her reviewing her other documentary on Black Astronauts, The Space Race. Yeah. And we hit it off great with her.
Yeah. It's a great documentary, too.
What, The Space Race?
Yeah.
Oh, The Space Race is...
I've been talking about it.
It's amazing.
Nonstop since we saw it.
It's amazing. Yeah. And Lisa is... She's so down to earth, so real. You are going to love her. And
absolutely.
Can't wait for her to join us here on the Micheaux Mission. And next week, ladies and gentlemen, we kick things off with a documentary that has been threatened to make itself known here on the mission since the mission began. Yeah. And more than a few of you have come to us when you start talking about documentaries, even when you just start talking about films that we should review. This is a film that has been on more than a few of the missionaries' lips and in their emails, and we are finally doing it. Vincent selected it to kick off things next week from 1990. Yeah. Paris is Burning.
Paris is Burning.
A look at the ball culture in New York City that is a certified classic documentary.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a proper way to kick off Doc to School here on the Micheaux Mission.
Absolutely. It's going to be great.
Yeah, looking forward to that. That's next week here on the Micheaux Mission. Until then, he's Vincent, I'm Len. And in parting, we say,
we'll see you when it's time to meet again.